you took a survey from age 17 to 97 and said, how many of you ever dated or been in a romantic relationship? I think a lot of hands would go up, right? And I remember when I was watching all this television that I would watch The Bachelor and they say, I don't know, they call it reality TV, but I don't know any women that live in a mansion. Or I don't know if asking someone to marry you after 9 episodes is a good idea. or wait a minute, we're going to Bora Bora and Tahiti on our 3rd date? Or how come they're all real young and look like models? That doesn't seem much like reality TV. And then I looked at the $1 Million Matchmaker and I thought, I mean, she's very successful, but I thought, I don't know if a therapist or dating coach should talk to people that way. I don't know if you've ever watched that program. Anyway, so I thought there's something missing in my perspective. It may help or hurt that I had a doctorate in psychology, so I maybe could see a little bit between them. But it annoyed me a little bit, not too much, because psychologists don't get annoyed. But boy, that traffic killed me today, though. It annoyed me, though, that you'd see these dating programs and you want to say hello, right, to the man or the woman, like, you know, doesn't she remind you of the type of gal you just told the audience that you've had trouble with? So I had this concept, and I decided to call the television program The Romance. And what The Romance is it's a 6-episode television series. We've been filming it since late October. Auditions were held. Got over 340 resumes, videos, photographs of single men and women in San Diego that wanted to be on the show. I have trouble delegating and I don't have much money. So I interviewed most of these people on the phone myself. And then we brought them in and I had to, again, pick some judges and develop a storyline. But here was the bottom line of it. In The Bachelor, there's all these women and one guy, you know, and that just didn't seem right to me either. So we got a large group of women to start the show with and a group of guys to start the show off. Kind of like real life, right? Like it's possible that different people might meet different people. They all didn't look like models. They weren't all in their early 20s or 30s. They ranged in age from age 25 to 42. Now, I might be lying there. And I say that just because I can't give certain things away. Maybe. I might be able to tell you. But let's just say there was a range ballpark that we used. And here's why we felt. Because we want as many viewers as possible, that we wanted to have a group of men and women that in their 40s and their 30s and their late 20s that a lot of people would watch, as opposed to it be a, quote, young person's television program or blah. I also noticed that many times these programs were very, I don't know how else to say this, but just very white. You didn't see much cultural diversity. I mean, I walk around cities and I see, you know, people of all sorts of races and age and looks. And so we have a variety of racial and cultural demographics in the television program. And I think that helps our program become very real. So, again, we were thinking, what do we do in terms of judges? How do we brand that? So what I'd like to do is just shut the lights down for a little bit, and then I'm going to show you something. Because being in the film and television industry, there's that saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Going to the judges of the television program that we're producing, filming, editing right now, it's called The Romance. So there's, yours truly, except my headhunter role is minimized. I'm more like the host and using my doctorate in psychology and what I know about relationships. Kimberly is a therapist, dating expert, and image consultant from Los Angeles. And Elle is a Rancho Santa Fe matchmaker. Now, let me tell you something. I interviewed many, many dating experts, matchmakers, psychologists, therapists, and Kim really stood out for me. And if you ever watch the program, you'll see why. Just knows her behavioral psychology, but can also talk to people and coach people in a very friendly way. The reason I picked Elle is she doesn't have a doctorate or master's degree in psychology or any of that behavioral expertise. But I looked at a lot of the other matchmakers and therapists, and they were all good. They were all good, and some of them were great, but they all seemed kind of like the same. And then there was Elle. Elle is to our show what Steven Tyler is to American Idol. She's got that edge. I never know what she's going to say. And that's beautiful because, and she dresses so great. And some people are going to tune in just to see Elle. And I'm telling you all this because whether you're making a movie or you're making a television series, as USA used to say on the bottom of the screen, characters welcome. You got to have characters. And the three of us are characters. Here's another picture of the judges. Again, there's your, normal old guy, right? And then Kim, very professional, therapist. And then there's Elle, rock and roll, the edge. So you've got the recruiter, psychologist, and me. And I'm just going to show a couple more pictures so we don't have to put the lights on and off. This is us filming the dates. We film these men and women going on dates to San Diego restaurants, to wineries, to bars, to picnics, to walking on the beach, all sorts of venues. We've got something set up with a hot air balloon ride. That's going to be interesting filming. Any volunteers? And then besides, in the romance, besides the individual dates that they're set up with, we ask people, who do you like? Who do you want to go out with? Blah, blah, blah. For about 5, 6 Saturdays in a row, those are some of the contestants. We've had the contestants show up on these group events because I think all of you would agree you can learn a lot about a person. Anybody can behave when they're one-on-one with you in a nice quiet couch or restaurant, right? But how are they when they're around other people? What do you notice about them? So this is at an art gallery in Del Mar. And then on the Del Mar Plaza patio, thanks to the sponsorship of El Fornillo, we filmed a beautiful sunset. Obviously, that's at Christmas time. So do you understand, first of all, how each of these television programs that I produced are different from what's out there? You see how the romance is different than other television programs.
Let's have a round of applause for Ken Gora. It was awesome.